But anyway, we've got game 2, Incubus versus Inverse. It starts now. Let's jump on in, check it out. Beastmaster ban again.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, Trent, last game in terms of carries banned, it was Troll, Ursa, PL, Slark.
Yeah, it was really rough.
Yeah.
4
I
big
think
ones
against
there.
Bristleback, the Slark and PL are probably the better ones. And then after those two, what was the carry
What
again?
if Inverse had tried for Jug?
I mean, he's like the only other decent one that was left.
I mean, he could buy Silver Edge. Yeah.
Hey, but then your timing just rams into the Incubus one, and theirs was still a little better. I feel like would be the only issue.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think Jug. I think Jug was better than Faceless Void. I'll be honest. I think,
that's for sure.
You know, Faceless Void counters Centaur, but in general, it's always gonna be better to pick Jug.
Jug could have ratted a little bit at least, and they could have done some more like spin TP plays and stuff, which I think is what they kind of needed in that game.
That one engagement in game 1 where TA was at the Radiant tier 2 and they were like committing all that stuff to kill her and they drop the finger and then Centaur just presses R from across the map and TA runs under the tower. Earth Spirit TP's in. They turn the fight. Oh, God. All right. This is the good stuff, though. They left the Mirana in. Inverse know this, right? They had to ban out the Earth Spirit and the Coddle. This was banned in game 1. This is Dunyao's hero, position 4, like 100%. He's a sniper. Nice. This guy, like, I don't know how he did it, but he's got a scope on his Mirana, and it's translating, man.
That's such a good way to open your draft, too. Like, she's such a nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you can pick a good combo with her in the lane or not. She combos well with anything. She snipes couriers, Moonlight Shadows, busted and annoying. And then they just pick up a couple little arrow combos throughout the draft, and you can actually just lose a tower in the mid game because she hits one arrow. That is a very real scenario.
Yeah, totally.
I actually really like the opener from Inverse, though. No, this Gyrocopter support, you amp up his damage with the Elder Titan. Could even be Gyrocore, so that's why it's so good to open with it.
Yeah, the ET is interesting. I'm a fan of this hero overall. He always pops up when it matters. That's the thing I appreciate about Elder Titan. Yeah? I like that his horns look like hair, but they're actually horns. They're very flush
hair
with
and
his
horns
face.
are made of the same things. It's all just keratin.
Well, there you go, man.
Yeah.
And he's got a badass
science.
ponytail, too.
Invoker.
And an early Invoker.
Oh, finally. So last season we were like the Invoker region. He was picked and banned here more often than I think anywhere else, at least when I was going over drafts and stuff. Because we would frequently see him in like the first or second phase here in NA as well. We would lose on the Invoker, and he's really making a comeback this season. They've actually had like several Invokers all over the place right now. So he, in terms of matches, he's got 27 matches. Not bad. He's also been banned 23 times, only picked 4 times. Okay. So he is like a crazy high like ban ratio. Now that might be because of like Medusa picks and the like, where people are looking at bans that are really targeted at their heroes, but he is one of the most banned heroes across the DPC.
10 seconds remaining.
All right.
Yeah, I think the changes to Invoker really make Exort Invoker really strong and Quaswax not that strong. But I guess people are still banning it against Medusa anyways, because EMP is so strong versus her.
Shall we go over the Invoker changes here real quick?
Sure.
Because I haven't actually seen one.
Yeah, like basically it's the old, I think like 2 years ago
That's
Invoker, where you get the Exort strength, you get agility for Wax, strength for Quas, and intelligence for Exort. For every point you get 2 points of each attribute.
Yes, and he has a new shard. Now causes 2
Meteor.
Chaos Meteors to land alongside the primary cast at slight angles. So you get triple Chaos Meteor.
It's pretty.
And then that was also last patch where he got back the Forge Spirits, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, because then that already kind of buffed it up a little bit, but now in addition, right? Because, like, last patch he got both of his Forge Spirits back. He got they got it buffed as well. Okay, so it's all coming together. It's like a double patch back-to-back buffing to the Exort Invoker.
Exactly. Now I wonder, you have this Mirana, an unreliable stun. So if you're assuming this is going to be Exort Invoker, I feel like they need that setup. So the arrows land and they just solo
Give me the Shadow Demon.
That's really good.
Give me the Clockwork.
Shadow Demon Centaur. That was the old classic with the soul.
Now
What was
we're
that? What's the
talking.
thing called soul?
Soul Catcher?
Soul Catcher.
Soul
That's
Catcher.
the one. Jeez, couldn't get it. I was thinking of all the wrongs. Like, it's not soul, right? It's not soul assumption. It's something.
And
Death
the Death
Prophet,
Prophet. Also a highly banned hero. Some good team fight. Nice and flex. Mid 3, 5, 4.
3, 2, 1, 0.
10 seconds remaining.
I guess 0 is when you buy your ally the bottle. You're not even position 6. You're
5
just
seconds remaining.
you have nothing.
0 is the position 3 alchemist. That's the
Just giving, you know.
Yeah.
What's our 5 here? AA, let's go.
Team pick.
Oh,
Cowards.
Ogie Magoo. They're gonna pick Deucer. I hope you're ready.
Oh God.
Invoker.
They actually
Ogre.
are. They are.
They're
They
ready for
covered
the
it with
raid
the
boss.
Invoker. They have Bloodlust. They have Alacrity.
Oh no.
All right, go. Oh, they banned the PL themselves. No!
And you've got Moonlight Shadow,
Remaining.
Disengage, Sneaky Fights.
They
All
could
right.
even stand or still.
5 seconds remaining.
Carry Gyro and pick Nyx.
Ooh.
That's not
Is
bad.
Gyro even good versus Medusa?
Gives you
though?
mana burn. Well, I mean, it gives you the mana
really
burn. You
good
get the
versus Invoker.
Carapace.
You go to Diffusal, Thompson Diffusal Blade.
There we go.
Axe Gyro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think your head's in the right place.
I mean, what else is there that can handle this, knowing that this is coming?
Razor is that old school Medusa counter, I guess. But I think if they Razor here, they just pick something else. So it's kind of a gamble.
Yeah, I don't love Razor.
All right, by the numbers, the worst Medusa counters, not surprising, the Anti-Mage tends to come out on top. Sniper, Brood, Arc Warden, Nyx Assassin, Centaur, Slark, Darkseer, Invoker, and Dark Willow. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Team pick.
Dark Willow. Wait, what? Oh, so that is Core Gyro.
That's not a Nyx.
Radiant team ban. Luna.
Oh!
Luna.
Raid Boss Luna. Okay. So not quite the Dusa, but a similar flavor here. Takes stacks early, accelerates really fast, benefits huge from the Alacrity, the Bloodlust, the Solar Crest. Luna
Now-
will be
10
Raid Boss,
seconds
center of the
Wait,
fights.
is this the anime draft? Oh my god. They have Mirana, Invoker, and
seconds
Luna.
remaining.
Was there an ogre? And there was an ogre in the anime, wasn't there? There was ogres and there was that weird ET looking guy.
All right, guys, Terrorblade, let's go for the lore.
I don't mind the
Team
Terrorblade.
ban.
Especially nowadays where I know even Lunas are buying Sanjin Yasha, they can't dispel the Conjure image. It's pretty good.
The anime draft, Luna and Mirana together. Oh, wow, this is amazing.
I
just
think
need
that's why
Marcy
they
up
went
in here
for
and
it.
we're good.
Yeah.
Coach Marcy,
10
let's go.
seconds remaining.
If I could whistle, I would, but I can't.
5 seconds remaining.
Wow, someone in the chat actually just said anime team. They don't even know how right they are in the future.
5 minutes from now.
It's all come together there, folks.
Radiant team ban.
There's the Centaur ban. I like that.
All right. I think they're gonna take the tree and out. I'm so bummed by that.
I would like a position 3 Void Spirit. I've always liked the Mirana is pretty cool if someone's into that. Don't know if they play
Oh,
it,
yeah, we
but
saw that yesterday.
10 seconds.
it's kind of cool because he can get over the
Team
shards, right? He gets pretty slippery in the mid game. They could use someone who could dance a little. They could also just use a giant sack of meat, like a Centaur Warrunner too, to just like get into the middle of things. So, like an Underlord-esque hero would also be fine here, I think.
I like Underlord. Especially against spells like Exorcism.
Underlord.
You go high ground, you force the Exo, then you just...
Hey, they banned the clockwork. Look at that, guys. Oh my god, yes!
They're going tricky.
I love it.
Second lowest win rate in pubs.
This is big time push.
Okay.
I mean, talk about objectives here. I like this Incubus lineup a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
Man, I would go
that's
like some
interesting.
Zeus or something here. They're so squishy.
5 seconds remaining.
Against Nature's Prophet is a little scary.
Is this the game for the bounty?
Mid bounty? Or
I'm in.
or you think this is gonna be mid
Whatever,
Prophet?
whatever you want.
I think
care.
the 3 DP with Tusk is actually really strong.
yeah.
It'll be leaning into Luna and Ogre. They go for the bat. Okay, so that's one of the best counter picks to the Nature's Prophet for sure. Kind of like throughout the entire game.
Ooh.
I wonder how the lane versus Invoker goes.
I'm
all the
nervous for
bottles and
Meggy
stuff?
here.
He's a lot of
Yes.
regen though. But he will get quite a bit of jungle farm to himself. It's just him and the Gyro, and Gyro, takes a little bit of time to get there.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
hopefully the ET is getting those stacks set up for them too. That would be pretty crucial. This Incubus lineup is like someone's gonna date or something. They're trying to hurry this thing along and get out of here.
Yeah, this is scary. I do like what Inverse has, but I think Incubus, they look like the better team. They've got this aggressive lineup. They've got a little bit of a timer, but not really. It's not like an all-in push lineup. It's just a lineup that can play really fast, and Luna can still scale into a raid boss well into the late game. I mean, that's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think this draft is much closer than the first series. So
Or first game,
if
yeah.
Inverse can win a game, this is looking more like it. And also they have no save. If this Batrider eventually gets Blink, I feel like the Luna might actually struggle. Because if the Luna is taken out at the beginning of the fight, there's no way Incubus has enough damage after.
Tornado's
So-
a bit of a save though, to be fair.
True.
It can kind
So
of
is-
catch people off guard a little bit.
I think this game is going to be longer. That's my bet.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I think they're gonna run them over. I think Incubus looks so scary here. I'm
Yeah.
terrified.
This is going to be the beginning of the Nature Prophet, boys. Mark my words. First one for South American DPC. Gary, you got to pause here, so plenty of time to share your thoughts on this Incubus power lineup. What do we got?
When do we not have a pause? It's a tradition now, isn't it, Theban? Kick things off with these games.
Yep.
A little bit of a break.
SA Dota.
It is SA Dota. But yeah, looking at this, Batrider last pick coming through. They've got Nature's Prophet for Incubus, but Luna for Burner. Burner really has to be that mainstay hero that they're going to buff up, play aggressively, and just shove down these lanes.
Yeah, I love the Luna hero right now. I think it's freaking powerful, especially with the shard. The bounce potential and the damage that it can deal is insane, especially have like two heroes standing right next to each other. You're gonna see the power of it. Assuming Burner knows about it. Even yesterday, we had the Phantom Lancer who didn't know about the shard on the peel and how strong it was, which I think it was actually 2 days ago, and it kind of costed them the game. So we'll see. Nonetheless, even if he doesn't buy the shard, it's an incredibly good Luna game. You got buffs from the Bloodlust, you got the Alacrity. You're probably gonna have this Ogre also buying Solar Crest. Mirana might buy like Guardian Greaves as well this game, so she's going to be extremely tanky, and they're just going to play through the Luna this game.
I just put her up at the front, shove down those zones. So thinking about that PL and thinking about players not buying shards as an example, do you not have other teammates thinking, why hasn't he bought a shard? Suggesting, hey, do you want to buy one? Or in a pro team, are people really just focused on their own item builds and not really trying to put their own ideas into other players' heads?
Yeah, that really depends on the person. Sometimes you got teammates who are looking at others and thinking about what should do, mainly like Slayers, right? You're most of the time just looking around the map, what's going on, and seeing the status. Maybe your teammate forgot something. And then there are also players who just focus on their own gameplay. I think ideally you have a mix of those kind of players in one team, so you're going to cover all your bases. Majority of the time, just focusing on yourself should be good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone should have a pretty good idea of what they need to do and where they need to be. It looks like one team is ready to
trust
get...
your teammates, Gary.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's a game based on trust. Got to know what they're up to and what to expect from them.
Yeah. What do you think about this game? Is it going to end faster, or is it going to be longer, as Bowie said?
I think it's going to be pretty quick again. Like game one, it looked very much the case that Incubus were a step ahead. They were moving around the map as they should have, even though we had moments where Burner's doing his own thing and farming, and the rest of his team's kind of, it's not like they're messing around. They're not, disrespecting their opponents. They just seemed very casual in the way that they approached the game, as though they knew that they were going to win anyway.
Yeah, I think so. And I have a feeling that this game is going to be even faster than the 25-minute game we had in game one. But that being said, Inverse, they don't want to let that happen. And you can see that from the last game, they had good ideas of how to approach fights and team fights. They just didn't have the draft for it.
Yeah.
They didn't have They didn't understand like how their lineup needed to synergize so they can compete. And maybe that's the biggest flaw with some of these Division 2 teams. And in Division 2 especially, I think draft is more like 90% of the game. Because these guys roughly all have the same amount of MMR or individual skill. I guess Incubus is like an exception because they have very high MMR players for Division 2, but the other teams are about all the same.
Yeah, I mean, it can be like quite a linear way of looking at drafts, but quite often you do have these kind of check boxes, right, where you're thinking about tower push, team fight initiation, tanky hero to scout something out, or a support hero that can get information, maybe a hero that can stack camps. There's lots of little things that you do have to try and fit into your draft to accomplish. There's a smoke coming out from Incubus, wrapping through this top jungle, and nobody actually holding the high ground from the Dire team. Oh, they've got vision. Dire Ward sees them coming. It looks like the Treant is going to give it away.
That was so good. That
really
is
nice.
So good. Oh, man. That's awesome. Very well done there by Benjas. Just putting that tree behind the tree line. The Treant behind the tree line. See that the tower's hitting it. D-Ward.
And now ET is going to do the same thing.
Easy.
Slaw comes in, gets hit by the
Yep.
tower. Oh,
Drops
you've
the
got a
sentry.
ward here as well. Thank you very much. Oh, 1-for-1
Yeah,
observer
got so
ward,
much
but
better
the
at doing
fire
this.
blast into arrow slides into the tusk. Slaw with Flax, both tanking it up. Alright, Ogre
team.
as a tag team. Yeah, you're right. And some big beefy boys whacking into your Ogre now with Arzen and Miggy forcing it in towards the Ogre, getting first blood. Flax going to run back and no trade there. Kill boys for Incubus.
That was a very courageous ogre running into an ET and an Tusk. Yeah, I don't know about that, Gary.
Still going to get the bounty runes for themselves, though. 2 for 2, it looks like. Sunstrike mid secures the range creep. So an Exort Invoker coming out from Black Soul.
Yeah, I think I like the Exort openers because you get the extra 2 intelligence plus the damage from the Exort as well. So you're pretty much starting off with 8 damage on Invoker compared to like Quas or Wex.
Yeah,
It's very
so
nice.
And then you get into the double Forge Spirits faster if you want to go that direction. We'll see what he gets up to. Tri-lanes, though, Theban. 3 bottom going on to Benjaz. Tag team, Spirit, run forward with a homing missile. And it looks like the second kill of the game, secured by Inverse.
It's very interesting how they decided to go into an aggro tri-lane
And
on the side of
DP
Incubus this game.
dodges the arrow. So the Radiant tri-lane unable to capitalize on it. It was close, though. But DP with 320 move speed just sidesteps the arrow with these very short duration setup stuns from Ogre and the Luna. It's not so easy.
Yeah, she's got good movement speed, 320.
Yeah. Pretty good base
Ogre
damage,
stun
too.
definitely one of the harder disables to arrow off of since it only lasts 1.5.
They've got to chain it with Lucent Beam. Like 0.8 from Lucent Beam, 1.5 from the Fire Blast.
That's a good idea. I mean, you add that up, you get 2.3 seconds, enough time for the arrow to land. Gotta be perfect.
Ah, it's basically the same as a Shadow Demon Disruption then, isn't it? The perfect setup for the arrow.
Dire's middle tower is
Oh, we're getting to the
Ogre
2-1-2
magic.
now. Ogre. He's trying to walk away from this tag teaming Tusk. It does mean
Ogre's
DP
still-
and Tusk are not playing the actual lane.
Exactly. And Luna's just going to be able to get all this XP for herself, deny some creeps as well. It's very nice for her. And meanwhile, bottom lane, NP, he's happy to be able to 2v1 the Jaro and the ET as long as the lane is pushing back into him. It looks like the Jaro skilling up Black Cannon. That's a buff that Gyrocopter got recently. It went from 2 max attacks to 3 max attacks on level 1, which is an insanely huge buff for this hero. He's also got the homing missile. Probably not going to scale the rocket barrage against a Nature's Prophet lane as the Treants can soak up that damage.
Yeah, that's true. Just get the stun going and try and right-click him down. Does mean
Most
Banjo's
likely.
here. It's kind of difficult to get into experience range when they are playing this far back in the lane, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he just needs the lane to push right back into him. The flat cannon, whenever he turns that on, will naturally push the lane out. So just gotta chill, Luna's gonna be free farming on the other side of the map, so you're gonna be okay with that. Nature's Prophet is 7-4. He's got 4 denies on his Gyrocopter. I mean, they started with a tri lane and they killed him and he still got 4 denies. That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good. And then looking into the mid lane, 10 and 4 on the Invoker. You were saying, you know, with the extra damage, the intelligence, this Exalt build, 10 and 4 for him, while Batrider, base damage, it's not great, is it? He needs that sticky napalm to stack up. But do we see kill threat against the Invoker in this lane once he gets a couple of levels on Bat?
Definitely. Oh, most definitely. This is not the easiest lane for Invoker, as he is a very slow hero. We can see him here just picking up the boots. Sometimes Invokers don't go for the boots first item. They rely more on their damage and to be able to trade against the millionaire. But against Bat, you got to go for that. The way that Invoker is going to play this lane is just bring out the Force Spirit. When the Batrider tries to run on top of you, you're going to cold snap him under the tower and just try to trade. And hopefully you will get the kill. And maybe you'll also have an Ogre or a Mirana TPing in to help you dish out a little bit more damage. Yeah, even the Prophet. That's true. You just need to be able to kill him before he kills you. As long as you get the XP, you're going to be happy as an Invoker, even if you die.
That's true. That's Benja's Prophet. The ability to get into these lanes. The fact that they have a tri-lane top, you know, make the numbers up and get 4 heroes there. There's both the lanes, even mid with Forge Spirits and Treants, you could look at some early tier 1s from the Radiant team.
Most definitely. That's the scariest part about the Incubus draft. If this Luna is going to have a free farm lane top with the 5-minute catapult coming out, I think Nature's Prophet, like Benja's, is just going to teleport up there, help take that tier 1. The Luna's going to have all this freedom on the top side of the map to farm. And Inverse don't really have a counterplay to that. They don't have this high tower damage output in their draft.
Yeah, their draft is very focused on that magic damage team fight. You got that AoE spill damage going on to people. But for now, a little bit of calm. There's Ogre and Mirana on that right side, still sticking around up here. Stun into Arrow, catching the Tusk. Lucent Beam, Sunstrike, snipe him out. Black Soul gets the kill.
So much damage, and Black Soul getting the kill means maybe a faster Midas if he actually does go for it this game. You know, you want to give your Invoker all these Sunstrike kills if you can, because he is spending 175 mana to help you out in your lane, and if he gets the gold, he gets that item timings quicker. He will have more impact in the game.
And you still get experience, right, from a Sunstrike. Oh, Sunstrike kill again, top.
Yes.
Dunya actually won to get the final touch. It was close though. I thought Invoker would have a second one as bottom lane. They do move on to Benja's Prophet. Middle as well, diving onto the Invoker, but he's fine. Down bottom, the Prophet's okay. Every lane, there's action to be seen. Dunya's TP down here with an arrow ready.
Miggy.
Still diving mid. Miggy wants Black Soul, and he does get the kill. Bottle charges. Tango there. He's surviving through the tower hits. Down bottom, Slaw's going to fall as Ogre and Mirana make themselves known in the bottom spot. Frantic action.
And they've actually let the Luna top alone now, since the Mirana and the Ogre both went bottom. Because they both went bottom, they couldn't help the Invoker mid. Very nice play there from Miggy. He forced the Ice Wall and the Cold Snap to come out. He glyphed the creep middle, so the tower can continue to hit the creep. And then he dove right back onto the Invoker. Got the kill. And now Miggy is level 5.5.
Oh, Burner's dying top as well. Oh, he pops the wand. Flax, shards, Burner turns. Probably going to get the cross kill here with a Sunstrike from Invoker, popping through the Tusk.
That's nice. Okay, Invoker got a lot of XP from that Tusk kill there. But Incubus, again, they TP'd both of their supports bottom. Luna is not a hero that you can leave alone in the enemy safe lane. You gotta go right back up there to help her out.
Do you start to think about swapping your lanes now? Do you go to the more conventional Luna bottom, put Prophet top?
Well, Gary, I think you've answered your own question.
There it is. Burner TPs. They could keep Benjas down here. Maybe just try and poke for a kill on the gyro. And he's going to walk back.
It's very interesting how the Gyrocopter actually bought a Basilius in this game for that mana regen. We see this normally bought by support heroes, just giving that extra mana to the carry, but Gyrocopter buying that. It's nice, but still, it's 400 gold that could have been going towards other stat items.
Snowball in.
Luna.
Burner getting dived. Rocket Barrage is going there. Burner pops the stick charges, trying to kill off Slaw. Benja's TP's in. And with Aretes and Dunya here, they're going to take down the two supports at least. Slaw with flags.
They're going to let Gyro go.
Get the gyrocopter out of danger. He's trying to get a bit more damage on them with a flak, the rocket barrage, the sunstrike. Invoker doesn't get the kill. Dunya with a double. And Gyro, he's stuck around, allowing Miggy to actually converge onto the bot lane. Benja's lassoed up with a fire blast onto the Gyro, trying to block him up with the Treant and the Ogre. So much damage coming through from this Prophet, just right-clicking them, killing off a courier. Black Souls arrive, double, no, a triple for the Mirana.
Oh, wow. That Mirana's got a huge influx of gold there. Invoker also TPing down here to help him out, since the Batrider could potentially destroy this team fight if you just let him do his thing. So very good help there from Black Soul. Now Luna just going to go mid, try to get this experience from the mid lane. Mirana getting all these kills means that she's going to have a very fast Vessel, and Inverse don't really have a way to remove that. So it's going to be a lot of damage output coming out here from Dunha this game.
Especially important against that Death Prophet, who is pushing top tier 1 with the Exorcism and a Catapult.
Very
Arrow
good.
kills Carty, but the damage is already done.
I guess from these last minutes, these engagements, Death Prophet was the one who benefited the most out of all that. She got, what, a minute and a half of free farm, took the top tier 1 tower, which is very rare to see from the Dire side.
Yeah, it really is. What's Ogre and Mirana up to now? They've got this kind of triangle of wards down in the bottom portion of the map. In the dire triangle, in that dire bottom lane, they see the Gyro, and Aretes.
They want him. Oh, he's playing so safe though. Top, there's also smoke coming in. Who's it gonna be first, Gary?
Who gets picked off? I mean, the Gyro scanned this, so he knows that they are lurking, and he's playing very, very tight on the right-hand side. So top lane is the snowball into Benjaz. Stomp, shards, trap him in. He's sprouted and TP'd, and there aren't any more stuns, are there? No silence either. He TP's home.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, Snowball was used up first. And Mr. Quesadilla here, just chilling under the tower.
Yeah, they're still edging forward. Ice Wall, Cold Snap, down to about half HP, but Flax's rotation will keep them at bay. It's been good from Inverse, though. It's not been that kind of scared cowardice play where they're hiding, waiting for the Radiant to come. They are making the moves themselves. They are putting that very aggressive foot forward.
Yeah, just looking at this map, it's very interesting how people are laning at 8 minutes into the game. Luna's like playing around middle in the jungle. Invoker's the one who's playing bottom with the supports. NP is just chilling at his tier 2 tower. Can't really push the lane out because he's afraid that supports are going to come and kill him again, or try to kill him again. Not something you would typically see, but maybe 10 minutes into the game with the catapults, we'll see Incubus grouping up, trying to take some objectives.
Yeah, get out on the map. I mean, there definitely is that fear factor. All this magic damage from the Dire at this early point. They can shred through you so quickly.
I will tell you, Gary, that Inverse are playing a lot better than I expected them to with this kind of draft in this game. I'm not sure if that's because Incubus have made a few mistakes in terms of which heroes should be rotating, but they've done a great job. Oh, top lane Miggy, he's got the lasso.
With an Arcane Rune too, and he waits the full duration for that teleport from Benjaz. Very nicely done.
It's a level 9 Batrider. That is scary. That is so scary.
With his boots of travel, it's been so much crisper in this game too from the Inverse side. You're spot on.
Got it.
I mean, Luna right now, pretty low on HP. I think she's got the Mask of Madness coming. Yeah, on the courier being delivered.
Yep, they're trying to time it with the 10-minute catapult right now. Push top in, but Berna is very low health at the moment. That's a little scary.
Yeah, they don't have an Urn Charge or a Salve or anything, but there's the Benjaz TP that we were talking about earlier on. They just bring the numbers top, very simply break this tower down.
Yeah, he's going to be chill then. I mean, the Batrider is out of mana in the base, healing up. They'll take this tower before the catapult even comes. Luna has her Mask of Madness and a Possessed Mask, so she's going to be able to lifesteal back up real quick here.
Kind of interesting though, isn't it? The fact that I, at the very least, and I think the panel as well, thought the Radiant team would be the ones taking these objectives first, but it's the Radiant that are behind, kind of catching up to the tier 1s through the DP. Arzen has taken bot, top, and now looking at this mid-tier 1 for himself.
Yeah, it all started with Incubus entertaining Inverse's pressure on the bottom tower, allowing the Death Prophet with their Exo to get that really early tier 1 top. And now she's gone bottom to take the next tier 1. The mid tower, though, that's the real difficult tower to take here. So let's see what Inverse next play is here. Gyrocopter going for a first item BKB. My goodness.
Oh, wow.
I have not seen that in a really long time.
Not seen that since Wings were playing Gyro. just
Yeah.
rush BKB.
I think typically you want to have your Gyrocopter buy like Aghanims first, at least. So he's a bit tankier. Also a good farming tool, damage tool.
Oh, look at this Ogre and Mirana.
Take us.
They are very deep here. I guess expecting a TP from Prophet to help them find a kill. Start it on that Batrider with a Fire Blast, the Sunstrike, and the jump in. Where is it? Where's the Prophet? It's not coming. Just get the right clicks from Mirana. That's enough. Ogre under the Moonlight Shadow does get dusted. The Eclipse trying to turn it back onto the Gyrocopter, but trading Miggy out here for the Aratus Ogre feels real good for the Radiant team, unless the shards catch out the Luna. Gyrocopter with a call down, DP moving forward, and they've got the snowball to trap Burner here. Arrow flies forward, and Burner tries to stand his ground and fight, but nowhere near enough against 4 heroes. The Dire bring them all in, and they're silencing up this Mirana to shred her with the Walrus Punch and the Rocket Barrage too. A 3-for-1. Sunstrike, though, from the Invoker, picks off the Gyro.
Oh, got him!
He snipes
No
him.
way.
Beautifully done by
No
Black
way.
Soul.
They didn't even have vision there, Gary. There's no radiant. He just
there a
got him.
Or a Forge Spirit or something there? What? I just knew.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Nonetheless, that was amazing. They also got the mid tower, but I think they could have just settled for the Batrider kill and got out Luna, Burna. He had no business really going into that. They've already got the kill onto the Bat. All you gotta do is just farm up, get your items. It just looked kind of even because they lost the Luna and the Mirana afterwards. But getting the Gyro kill did sort of make up for it.
Yeah, it felt like it should have just been Ogre for Bat, and that's it, done and dusted.
Exactly.
Try and find the Bat bottom again, but he's TP'd out very swiftly to the top lane. This Invoker just been sat back in this jungle, though, farming away. Drums heading into Aghanim Scepter, so he'll have that that Cataclysm.
Mr. Quesadilla has changed his mind. Instead
yeah?
of going for that BKB first, going into the Aghanims, okay?
Like you said.
That is respectable. Because if he went for BKB first, like his scaling potential is non-existent in this game.
Oh, Ogre. Is that sentry worth it?
I don't know my own strength.
A little sad for him. But he does spot
they
out
break the
3
smoke,
heroes.
That was a smoke. So potential save on one of his cores by dying there, Mr. Ogre.
Yeah, keeps Burner happy. BKB coming up for the Luna.
It's very interesting how Lunas are not going for the Yasha. They're favoring the Dragonlance a little bit more and then going for the BKB. Typically, you would see a Yasha before the BKB at least. Get that movement speed, attack speed, all the good stuff Yasha can provide for you.
Yeah, especially if you can turn it into like S&Y or the Manta Star and have that option. And think about, your Titan Sliver or Paladin Sword. So much sustain for you. Next move for Inverse. Probably going to be around this bad BKB, isn't it? Is that the timing they're waiting for?
Yeah, it's looking like it. The Gyrocopter Aghanims would also be a very nice item for Inverse to pick up first before you take any more engagements. Death Prophet, her Exorcism, also another spell you want to be playing around. It looks like they're going to go for this tier 1 tower.
That's a lot of points in Exort here for the Invoker. And he's ready with his Cold Snap Tornado. Stun onto the DP. Starts it off, and now a Meteor onto 2 of them. Trying to blow him up, but the Snowball save buys time and allows the Ghost to keep on flying. Ogre dropping low, but they've killed off the Death Prophet, and the Tusk follows her into the grave. Batrider retreating with a sliver of HP, but the Sunstrike coming! Oh!
No way!
Black Soul! That time he definitely didn't have any bloody vision.
Oh my goodness. And he's got the Aghanims now too, thanks to that kill. He's level 13 and a half with Ags. Next fight is gonna be insane with the Cataclysm. Oh, And Inverse, that was a play with just 4 heroes. Gyrocopter was nowhere nearby. They popped the Exo. They felt like they were sort of strong just to at least take the tier 1. But Incubus, you know, they're a good team. They're going to come in here. They're going to try and defend this. Batrider getting vesseled up so low. Can't really run in to help the Death Prophet there, as you can see in the fight. And here it is, the Sunstrike. The Sunstrike. At this point, Batrider's already off vision, and boom.
Perfect.
So good.
I love the Aretas movement there as well. The Ogre literally walks into the middle of 4 of them, and you can see the Dire team kind of that second of do we fight him? Do we hit the Ogre? Yeah, let's hit the Ogre. And all of a sudden they surround him and get blown up by this meteor landing.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Goodness. Mirana gets a lot of space top now. Shove out those waves, and you can feel the Gyrocopter a little bit scared to move out of his triangle right now.
Is under attack.
Yeah. It's really difficult for Inverse to make any plays on the map now, especially after that last engagement. You gotta just finish up your items. Batrider has 200 gold to BKB, DPX's on cooldown, so Incubus have this timing where they can just finish their items as well. Luna is about, what are we looking at here, 1,000? Nope, just 800 gold from her BKB too. Anytime, Gary, an arrow is going to hit on a target, like if Duna just throws out a random arrow, hits on someone, you're going to see a Cataclysm coming down. And then the Wrath of Nature on top of that. And the hero will die.
Oh, does anybody survive that? Everyone's below 1500 HP apart from like the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, maybe Batrider. I think Batrider might be the only one who will survive it. He's a tanky boy.
There's the arrow. Just a Sunstrike. No Cataclysm needed.
Cataclysm.
Right-click him down to finish off the Death Prophet. Snowball's coming forward, and they're going to drag the Tusk deeper. Dangerous territory here for Flax. Does get multicast stunned up, but the stop holding. That Benja's Prophet back. Doesn't seem like it matters too much. The Tusk will just shards him out and get back behind his tier 2. While Batrider moving in.
Got a BKB.
This Moonlight Shadow, though, gives the Radiant so much safety just to hold on to this high ground.
This is the problem, Gary. Inverse have no vision of this fight. And there is a ward from Incubus just on right above the tier 2 tower. They're going to go around and now kill that ward. As the Gyrocopter was able to join up with this team, prepare to fight as well. And now they're going for the Roshan. They got the Solar Crest on the Nature's Prophet. They got the DD on the Luna, Alacrity on her as well.
Oh, that's some tasty stuff.
Inverse have to be fast, Gary. They gotta get an Astral Spirit in there. Get the vision going.
It's done. Roshan's dead. We're 400 damage Luna. Whacking away at the big man in the pit. Flax is moving forward now. They've spotted him with the Forge Spirit.
Oh, they got the last hit.
Got that kill with the shards. Ogre shard down. Elsewhere on the map, the arrow slides by. Prophet TPing forward. A Sunstrike. Gonna take out Slaw, but the Exorcism from DP wanting to force the fight here, but the Luna's BKB with the DD still going, just shredding them with the glaives, bouncing in between the Tusker and the Death Prophet, finally finding a kill on him as the lasso drags the Luna back behind that tier 2 tower. Batrider still trying to go to work, but that's an Aegis burner Luna, and you're losing your lives tremendously quickly. Dunya Black Soul move forward into the cooldown, the Tornado Meteor catching the Gyro. It is a demolishing by Incubus as they sweep through that mid lane and claim all those lives of the Inverse side. Where's the Sunstrike? I hear it. Whoa, wait. Where did it go?
Gary, they got the kill on the Roshan, but at what cost? They're gonna lose their buildings real quick, and if you lose your tier 3 against the Luna, the Raxes will fall real quick. Like, you can't defend the Raxes, it's impossible, because the glaives will be bouncing between the Raxes and your heroes.
They must be so
back off because she's at half health.
They must be so glad that these tier 2s. Oh my god, yeah. The glaives onto the tier 4s even. And Glyph is there.
They pop the Glyph.
Defend their honor.
Gyrocopter is reviving. They're just gonna back off as the Luna was sitting at about, what, 1,000 HP? You know, you don't really want to risk the game at this moment.
Especially when that BKB was coming off cooldown too. Batrider swinging out of the base and smoking up with his team, but Firefly's on cooldown for a good 20 seconds. Bottom rune, Arcane for the Ogre. Does get Flame broken back into them, but with Moonlight Shadow, he just waddles back to his high ground. Nothing to be gained by the inverse side. Can't believe he sniped Roshan with ice shards, though.
He was just checking. He just wanted to check if something's going on there. They had no idea it was happening too, and he just got the kill. Like, all right, I'll take that.
Easy money.
Okay, so Tusk is gonna show bottom. This is gonna expose the Batrider being top all by himself. They got a smoked up Mirana. Bat can just BKB and get out of this if he needs to. They're too slow anyway.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it's gonna have to BKB.
They're going to be able to spot him.
No, he doesn't BKB. The disrespect. The absolute disrespect, Gary.
Yeah. He saw them all, didn't he? He saw Mirana, he saw the proper TP.
His TP was still like 3 seconds left. So maybe he was thinking like, okay, I gotta wait. If I BKB now, you know, they might do enough damage, and then the Sunstrike comes, I might die. So it's like, I gotta just hope that they don't find me for 2 more seconds and then BKB. I mean, I understand the thought process, for sure.
It was a little closer than maybe we first thought. Well, now Incubus taking top outpost. Probably going to take that top tier 2. But the mid lane barracks, they're still open there for them. And it would be a grand plan for them to take the top lane and start that nice pincer attack into the Dire base from top and mid. Some good split pushing going from the Dire squad, though. Like the Batrider with bots, this Tusk hiding in trees. They're still getting a decent amount of farm and kind of protecting Gyro back in that triangle, as BKB is now 70 gold away as he finishes off some Ancients.
Yeah, he can sell that Slipper if he wants to get the BKB. It does not look like Incubus want to go into the high ground at the moment, especially without the Aegis. At the completion on Luna, which is about 800 gold off of that. It's a pretty nice item. You can dispel the Batrider napalms or assaults from the Death Prophet, which is very nice. Smoke up from Inverse here. The BKB, with the BKB online, they're trying to make something happen, but they can only find an ogre.
Exactly right. And he's got a Glimmer Cape. He's tanky. 1400 HP. Alright, let's dunk everything on him. Ogre down. Good job, boys. But now what? We can't push tier 1 mid. We have to fall back into our jungle as the arrow slides past the backside of the DP. It's a kill for a kill's sake. You'll reclaim your top outpost.
That's not very anime, is it, Gary? Arrows shouldn't miss if you're Mirana.
Yeah, it should be homing arrows. Going straight into the back. Just like a raining firestorm of arrows coming down.
Yeah, maybe it's because you don't have Marcy to give you directions where to shoot them.
The moral support. It's an easy tower for the Radiant.
Yeah, the only problem with these trades though is on the other side, the Luna plus Nature's Prophet with the Solar Crest is a lot faster. They already had to pop the glyph on the tier 2. This is scary. Hold on. Not even have glyph for the high ground anymore.
They're going high ground here. Look at how many treants they've got. They've got the treant talent. They've got like 50 treants coming. They've got Solar Crest mech. Vlad's up on the Nature's Prophet. Manta Style on the Luna. And they are breaching your staircase. Up the ramp we go. Okay, you've stumped them and slowed them for a second, but like you said, there is no glyph here available. Batrider jumps, gets the lasso, drag the Luna, Glimmer Cape there. Can they bring her down? No, they've healed up the Luna with the mech, now the BKB. Turn and fight inside the cooldown. DP's chased, Benja's back, out of the base, but Dunya falling as the Mirana dies, and Burner is being focused down by everybody else. Oh dear. Arata's going to glimmer back into the trees, but the Flame Break will find him, and Miggy going to get the 3rd kill of the fight.
Oh, that was
Inverse
so good
hold.
there. Yeah, Arzen there with the exorcism into running in with the Ghost Scepter, just zoning out all of Incubus heroes. No one was able to go in and help the Luna inside the base. Plus, your Alacrity was used right before the engagement started, so Luna was missing a lot of her damage to help her out, kill the Gyrocopter. She was just trying to trade, and it just wasn't enough.
Speaking of damage, yeah, the Observer there showing like 5,500 damage done by Gyro. About 4,000 done by the Luna. But very little done by the rest of the Radiant team. Like Invoker couldn't really get too many of his spells out. Prophet, basically just a supporting cast at this point with all of his stats and aura items.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Cataclysm. Did he even use a Cataclysm? I don't think he did he?
I don't think so.
It looked like he might have just used the Sunstrike before that, and then it was on cooldown. Because a Cataclysm might have been all they needed when the Luna got engaged on.
At the very least, to force your opponents to, rethink, reset, consider their positions.
Yeah, you know how I think they didn't use a Cataclysm? Because my computer just didn't blow up. When all the
Didn't have a big
Sunstrikes
lag.
came. Yeah, exactly.
That's when you know. Everything was smooth.
It was actually very interesting engagement because Incubus now have to rethink about how they're going to be pushing and how are they going to be able to protect the Luna. They need like a Lotus Orb or something like that. Benjaz is going for a BKB. I think with this kind of build, you don't really need a BKB. You got a Mech, Vlad, Solar Crest. You're all in on this utility build. Might as well just get the Lotus so you can throw that onto the Luna as well. Just continue to play through her. It's been working out.
Or even like the consideration of a pipe, right? Like the Dire team, we've said it from draft to now, magic damage galore. Everybody on their team doing tons of magic damage. All they really have is that Glimmer Cape.
Yeah.
I guess Luna does have the BKB.
The biggest problem is this lasso, right? And if you can somehow just throw on the Lotus and you buy 6 seconds of time so he can't lasso you, that's already good enough. ET?
Oh, a simple
Goodbye.
pick bottom. Black Soul on a monster kill now with his own Black King bar completed. And ET was scrambling to push out that bot lane as hard as he could. It's a never-ending
Actually-
battle against Forge Spirits and Treants, though. Like, every lane's converging towards
Yeah.
Dire base at this point.
That's the hardest part for Inverse. They can't really get all these lanes out, even though they have Batrider and Gyrocopter who are very good at farming up the map. That being said, there is constantly a lot of good creep waves coming into them that they can pick up,
Some
kind of
huge
keeping them in the game too.
neutral items. Burner's got a Titan Sliver coming, I believe. Yeah, being delivered now.
Very nice.
There's also some spider legs there, but I don't know if anyone's going to be holding on to them as the Radiant. Not yet, anyway.
Quesadilla.
Dunya,
Yos. Arrow.
Yul's arrow.
Miss. Okay.
Somehow.
All right, Duna. Gotta go back
Practice.
into practice mode. Yep.
This is training. Oh, there's an ogre in the mid lane. Seen that story before. 3 heroes come in, claim his life. But we start to think about this next objective being Roshan. 1 minute until he spawns. So we'll see Treants in there. Try and scout out for both teams.
Dire are scattered.
So very difficult for the Dire to set up for it. With Invoker split pushing, he has been scanned.
Oh,
Black
he's
Soul,
caught.
great tornado. Ghost Walk off cooldown. He's going to try and sprint away.
Don't have the review yet. There
There's
it
the
is.
dust, but it's too little too late. The blink's back up in 5 seconds. He's going to cold snap BKB turn. Oh, Black Soul, what are you doing here? Punched up into the air, lassoed. He thought he could battle with them. He's still going to try it. He's BKB'd still. Deafening Blast pushed back. Now the Flame Break with a snowball in. Black Soul, he's going to die now. Surely falls. And Arzen on a killing spree. And is in their own jungle. Slaw chased by the Mirana. Starstorm's leaps at the ready with another Spirit Vessel charge. She'll jump forward, finish off the ET with a few more hits, but the cavalry's arrived, coming in to save the ET. No, at least trade back for the Mirana. Yules, no leaps. She's dead.
Incubus are starting to fall apart, Gary. I mean, I understand what they're doing. They're just waiting for the Satanic, then they're waiting for the next Roshan so they can do it. But there's too split on the map. They're playing too much individually instead of just grouping up, farming next to each other. So if Invoker was getting caught like that, you're ready to turn the fight around because you should be still down to take any engagements that are favorable to you, as long as you're near there. So losing Invoker, losing Mirana, this might be an opening for Inverse to surround the Roshan pit here if they're thinking about it.
Yeah, it's one of those moves where if he is a lone top, you want at least a couple of heroes bot to be forcing barracks, or you want someone to be taking Roshan, not just sitting in the jungle farming.
Yeah,
Objectives
I think,
are out there to be taken.
Gary, Inverse just missed a huge opportunity just to be able to go into the Roshan pit with 20, 30 seconds left on the Invoker, pop in the Exo, stealing that Roshan. Because this Luna without the Aegis is going to feel very sad. But now she gets the Aegis, plus the Shard on top of that, which is going to increase her DPS by quite a bit. It's real scary for Inverse once again.
Why does Luna have Mask of Madness and Satanic?
Good question.
I thought she was going to disassemble the
That's what I thought too.
mom?
Yeah, I mean, maybe she feels like, oh, I need this,
I need the attack speed?
yeah, I need the attack speed, I guess. I really don't know.
Odd.
It's so nice
Well.
to just split it, get your Satanic, get your Butterfly right after. Doesn't
Exactly.
even look like Gyrocopter's going for an MKB.
Well, she gives the shard to the Nature's Prophet. He was thinking about buying one himself, so now we've got those great
Really?
Treants coming out of the sprout. Yeah.
Really? That's surprising to me, because that shard is incredibly good. I think, yeah, I assume Burner really hasn't experienced the strength of the Luna shard.
I think we need some of these carry players to go on a go to a symposium on shards, have a seminar on what shards are good and what shards are not. Phantom Lance are good, Luna good, start buying them, boys. But here's that high ground push with the Alacrity, the Aegis. This is what Incubus have been waiting for, and Inverse, it is still going to be so difficult to mount a full defense against this Luna. Dragging her back with the lasso. First life
Wow,
gone,
blown up.
obliterating the Luna so quickly. Arrow slides into the BKB bat. Now Luna's isolated. Burner with the BKB and the Satanic, trying to run. Not popping Manta or the Satanic yet and focusing the buildings, but Arzen sprinting into them. The Cataclysm's coming. BKBs are up. The Yules in the air, the DP holes. Gyro spilling damage into them, but it's doing very little. Black Soul stands his ground. Luna whacking into them. Burner just destroys them with the glaives. Miggy's falling and so are the buildings. Burner, he's about to die. Does lose his life as they take him out with a double kill on Miggy. They're losing their barracks, and the Gyrocopter with no buyback as well allows Black Soul and Dunyan to chase down Flax. They're basically diving Fountain at this point, forced to snowball, get the arrow into the Sprout. Miggy jumps in though with a DD Bat, they kill off the Mirana, a double and a triple for Bat and Prophet, but they're still losing their buildings and the buybacks are required. Miggy on an ultra kill. Where's the Rampage? Give him the Invoker. Where's the reveal? They don't see him. Black Soul's out of there, and they get the ranged racks, but they lose a hell of a lot as Incubus for it.
Honestly, I would say Inverse won this engagement.
Yeah.
All they lost was a range Rax. They have to spend a Tusk buyback, but they removed the Aegis. They got 4 kills. And Incubus are back to square one. They gotta wait for the next Roshan. I don't think they're gonna feel comfortable to just go up the high ground once again. This Luna, she realizes that she can just die under one lasso. You saw her just explode on top of that ET aura and the Gyrocopter just hitting her.
And they ate the cheese as well, right? That's everything from the Roshan gone. No Aegis, no cheese. Just the ranged barracks. I mean, we're looking at this dire base. There are no tier 3s left. Like, every lane is exposed. So I guess the argument, you know, against the Prophet, against the Luna is if they do come back again and again and keep that going, then it is a kind of a dark line for history for this dire team. But
I think
they're
it's time
fighting
for
back
Inverse.
so well.
Exactly. I think it's time for Inverse to go on the offensive here. Try to get to Batrider to find more pickoffs. Maybe play with the Tusk or the ET and just keep picking off Incubus one by one while they're waiting for this next Roshan to potentially spawn.
Moonlight Shadow allows the Mirana to scout the ET. Yule's arrow this time. It will land perfectly. Sunstrike and a Spirit Vessel leaping forward. Dunya not going to be able to kill him off because he's got that Aghanim Scepter on the Elder Titan now. Free magic immunity through his spirit.
I mean, this ET is also starting to become a problem, Gary.
It's core
It was just
ET.
a position, yeah, it was just a position 5 Elder Titan, but starting to get tankier, getting his talents now, Aghanims.
Ooh. Look at Tusk. Speaking of
What's he got?
Aghanim Scepter, he's got
Oh, that's a
Aghanims
good
queued
one.
up.
Yeah, if you can kick the Luna while she's BKB, that's going to be huge. Because without this BKB, she is not doing too well. And finally, I see Benjas going for the Lotus Orb. Because that's going to be the savior for the Luna. So she does not get lassoed while she's hitting the racks.
Well, they desperately need it.
They're going top. They want the Invoker. They see him. But he's so fast. Max movement speed.
550. Sprints away. I was also
Okay,
wondering
Gary,
about like a Lincoln Sphere for Radiant as well. I think the Invoker had one
Oh,
queued
that
at
would
one
be
point.
nice.
It was
I agree
changed to
with
a
that,
Hex.
yeah. I think Invoker had a Lincoln's and NP went for a Lotus instead of BKB. they can't do that play on the Luna's Aegis.
Yeah. And it's probably game over.
Okay, you know what would have been game over? And I'm really confused about Incubus have no tier 3 tower. Like, they've already killed the tier 3 tower mid and bottom. But they decided to go for the tier 3 tower top instead of the Rax's mid or bottom. I mean, you have Luna. You hit the Raxes. They're gonna bounce. They're gonna do so much damage to the enemy. They're not gonna have a lot of time before they are forced to engage. So,
And it feels like every time they go and attack, they push high ground, Glyph is used, they run away, and they don't go back again until Glyph is back up anyway. And Dire might lose this ranged barracks bottom. Not a big deal. Double catapults with treants though, as Slaw picked off in the top lane. And Quesadilla,
huge pick off.
they will get the lasso dragged back with a homing missile on Mirana.
It's like you get one pick off there, and then your teammate dies bottom. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
It's a seesaw.
Yeah. It's really rough. I mean, the next minutes are just going to be an absolute brawl fest until this Roshan's up. No one's really going to want to hard commit into anything. I just hope Inverse is actually thinking about contesting Roshan this time, or even trying to like get it for themselves. Like that's how they win this game. They need to get one Roshan that Incubus don't. They need one Aegis on this Gyrocopter, and a potential Aghanims even for the Batrider or the Death Prophet.
Or the Tusk.
Or the Tusk, sure. Yeah, true. I mean, actually, you know what's better than kicking the Luna out when she BKBs with the Tusk? You blink behind her and kick her into your tier 4s.
Yeah.
That's better. And then
Kick her
you
into
lasso
fountain.
the Luna into the fountain. Easy.
Just
Or the other
displace
way
the
around,
Luna.
yeah. Lasso her into your tier 4s and then kick her into the fountain.
I think that's the plan. But yeah, looking at the vision from the Dire team, they are prepped for the next Roshan, aren't they? They see around the Rosh pit. They've got that ward coverage ready. They just need to continually maintain these lanes, like pruning the treants, clearing through these creeps. So it's just a never-ending, irritating war of attrition that you have to face off against.
But it's also a lot of farm coming in for your heroes. Like, how else is the Elder Titan and the Tusk getting these items? They got more lanes than the Batrider and the Gyrocopter can deal with. So the supports are also starting to get some gold. When you play against these NP and Invokers who are constantly shoving lanes into you, or if you are that team who's constantly shoving lanes into your enemy, when you hit your timings, you need to be able to end the game. Because at some point, the enemy is going to be farming a lot, like from all these waves pushing into them.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's not just pressure. It's also kind of filtering gold into their pockets. What is that Invoker up to, top lane? He's got Scythe of Voice still queued up, and he's basically playing like, I don't know, Beastmaster or something, just sitting top, hiding in trees, creating Forge Spirits.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of what the Exo Invoker does, right? You just split push, get your items up. They've been kind of just playing off Roshan, buying time for the Roshan.
Waiting for BKBs to wear down.
Yeah. For some people who may not know, Incubus, this is not the same roster they had from last season, right, Gary? It's like 5 new players. It's like a different team, and they're a new team, so maybe they're still adapting and learning how to play with one another. I feel like their laning stage, because they're high MMR individually skilled players, has been really good, but their mid game and late game team decisions have been very basic, sort of say. And they haven't gotten to a point where they're doing stuff where they're just completely outplaying their enemies on a macro level.
Yeah, it's very individualistic, right? Very, like you say, very kind of pub playery. Oh, so much gold there going into the Dire pockets again. The treants, they chip away a little bit at the melee ranks top, handing gold over to them. And 1.5 minutes for fast spawn on Roshan. Have a look at this Batrider, actually. Batrider's just found another little vein of gold. Go on, how much is it?
Yep.
How much is he going to find? From 1,500 up, that's about 100 gold. Easy money.
Dude,
Some
this
2 big
Batrider
treants
is
as well.
so farmed, Gary. I don't think the Luna can actually kill this Batrider. This is way too tanky.
Come and fight me.
It's got a lot of armor. The tooltip is, I think, a little bit bugged for me. Can't really see it properly. But yeah, a lot of armor. You got
Same.
this double flame break. 8 lens. I mean, he's gonna build into that cooldown reduction. I would love to see that scepter on the Batrider where he like lassos his teammate who gets jumped and then lassos another hero too. And then he pulled him in.
I'm wondering, is that the tooltip broken or is Shiva's guard broken? See, it doesn't look like he's getting the plus 15 from the Shiva's guard, does it? Interesting. A couple of flame breaks though onto the Ogre Magi. Good tornado and a fire blast. Still gonna lose Oretes. And around this Roshan pit. A good position from Inverse to take. Have to come down bottom and deal with Benjas though. He's planted himself in the bottom lane, throwing out the Wrath of Nature. Basically playing tennis. You're just being pushed from one side of the court to the other. Does it get tiring if you're doing this? Like, do you get mentally worn out if you have to, like, go top, push wave, go bottom, deal with Prophet, push that out, kill Forge Spirits? Does it wear you down, or is it?
100%. It's like you never really know when it's gonna be enough for you to just say, fuck it, and just go out there, push it one lane in, go for the base or something like that. You don't want to be making any of those mistakes, especially in this high tense situations. This BO3 is like you would think there's a lot of games you're playing because you're playing 7 series, but every single BO3 matters a lot. And you're already down 1 game, so you don't want to be making any mistakes as Inverse at the moment. That being said though, like this team is very courageous. You can see that they're always willing to go out on the map and try to find some kills. And that's how they've been able to come back into this game.
Yeah, they're not afraid to go fishing. Angling down into that bottom lane.
But you know, Gary, I would like them to go fishing on the other side of the map. I think they're on the wrong side of this map right now. This is not where Roshan spawns, guys.
Go deep sea fishing instead of sticking to the shore. Get onto that left side of the map. Roshan, Radiant Triangle. And the Radiant have actually dewarded all that vision.
Nice tier 4 items coming too, Gary, for Inverse. They finally had some opportunity to go out into the neutral creeps and pick some of those up. We got a Spell Prism for the Batrider. That's going to be huge. Jinx.
ET Telescope. Okay, I'll shut up.
Yep, ET Telescope. That's going to be... he's going to just switch it in, right? When the fight starts. He's going to keep the Philosopher's Stone for now. He wants to finish that 4-staff.
Yeah. What are your rules for Jinx? Like, I know I'm breaking them right now, but do you have to buy a can of Coke? Do you have to give them a pound, $1?
Nah, it's like when we were growing up, someone had to say your name 3 times.
Oh.
Yeah. Or like, was it 3 times? Or someone just had to say your name. Like,
so then everyone
Gary,
avoids...
You know, you're okay.
Everyone avoids saying your name for the entire day.
Like, you can't talk. You're not allowed to talk until someone says your name. Yeah.
We have to just give them $1.
Wow, $1. Yeah. Damn, that's an expensive Jinx if you're just a kid.
Over several years of school, it definitely adds up, I'll tell you now. And there were definitely some people that you would target as well. All the rich kids, get the Jinx on them, easy money. Roshan, it looks like the Radiant have it. Scanned by the Dire. And a big cooldown coming all the way across the map with that global ulti from the Gyro. Knows it's happening, so the contest is available. But you look at... Oh man, Theben, look at the map. Look at bottom lane. What is this creep wave?
That's a lot. There is a lot of chance going into that base.
I guess the DP can clear it out. I'm a little surprised the Radiant don't do Roshan with that big wave coming in bottom.
Know what needed to happen? The DP needed to scale up the minus 3.5 second Crypt Storm cooldown. That's a missed opportunity right there from Arzin. Because he doesn't have that, he's so slow to push it. Oh my god, they're gonna lose a Rax bottom. No way.
They lose a Rax mid as well. They've glyphed it now. Benjas BKBs goes for the TP. Miggy, the Lotus Orb, gonna lasso him back, but he still drags Benjas away from the TP home. The trouble being, the buildings have fallen. Mid lane range gone, full lane bottom down. And Roshan's being taken by the Radiant. The Dire team have just lost out on so many fronts. It's a tragedy. It's too late. Roshan's gone. They've used up the DP. Arrow catching him, and they're going to retreat. They don't want to commit for a kill. All that stands between them and victory, a couple of melee racks in mid and top lane.
Well, Incubus got away with it. They waited a solid, what, 9 minutes or 10 minutes for that Aegis to spawn. NP makes the right play, goes bottom, forces all of Inverse to come down there. They get the free Roshan. Now they got the Aegis. They can go right back into the high ground. There's only 2 melee racks left before Mega creeps. That being said, though, Gary, this is the kind of game where Megas isn't enough for you to win the game. You need to actually win a fight and end the game by killing the foe. Because this Gyrocopter eventually is going to eat that Aghanims and is going to buy a Rapier. He already has a Monkey King bar, so he does have the evasion piercing against his Luna's Butterfly.
That's very true. Blink forward from Bat. Shiva's Guard and a BKB. Onto the Invoker, catching Black Soul under the cooldown. Jara comes in with a big right-click damage. The BKB from Invoker gets him away, and the Sun Strikes. Cataclysm landing. Jara down to half HP. Down goes the Bat Rider, buys back immediately. Ogre's about to drop to the Ghost, but in comes the Meteor now. Deafening Blast dodged out by the All Scepter. Catching inside the Sprout, the Tusk is there, and Luna bursts through Arzen. DP gone for 100 seconds with buyback available, but it looks like the Snowball's only going to drag the Tusk closer to danger until he blinks home. But they've got a Hex and a Spirit Vessel onto the Elder Titan, getting a couple of pretty decent kills there. But the Dire team are still going to be 5 heroes alive, and the Radiant are without their Ogre. Oh, they've got to be careful about this.
The buyback. They got the last already in 1 second. They're going to go in now.
There it is. They jump the Mirana, dragging them back towards the tier 4s, clearing through Dunya, and that's now a 4 versus 3 for them. Dire team swing through that first life of the Luna. The Radiant have gone too far yet again. Over eager, emboldened by that Aegis being held by Burner. Come on, focus the buildings, hit the barracks, clear through the melee, clears it out at long last. Will lose his second life for it, even through the Satanic. Holding on with a Butterfly for dear life, but Quesadilla takes down the Luna. And they're not against Megas yet either, Theban.
Oh, that's another Aegis done. Gary, you know what this means, right? With only 1 melee rack left, this is going to force Gyrocopter's hand. He's going to eat his Aghanims and buy a Rapier. Or he's just going to straight up buy a Rapier, like move his phase into his backpack. Yep.
Yeah.
He's got to hold his boots, though, because he has the potential to just eat the Aghanims.
Ah, true. He's got Rapier queued up. You've called it exactly. Let's see what his entire plan's going to be, though. And I guess... do they have Spider Legs on Dire Team? No.
Yep.
So he doesn't even have that option.
You know what was interesting, Gary, in the last fight, how they were even managed to push Inverse off the engagement? It was thanks to the Invoker's Cataclysm, where like 4 Sunstrikes hit the Gyrocopter. Because Batrider was there previously, and he lost like... I want to say 70% of his health without his Satanic being up, so he had to just run away. And the next fight, if that doesn't happen, oh, Invoker stealing DD.
Mid lane, barracks are falling, hey?
No,
Forge Spirits and
like
Triggers, they're killing off that
like
final barracks. Mid lane stuns onto Arzen, force out the self-fuels, and there's the Blink Lasso. Mirana getting caught up in it. Lotus Orb's there, but it's too late. Being punched into the air, Snowball, bounce back. That Ogre trying to throw Ignites and stuns and all he can. The flicker, the blink, the leap up to high ground. Doesn't survive, and dead without buyback as Black Soul kills off Slaw in the mid lane and takes down that final barracks. Now we've got Mega Creeps going. Invoker Spider Legs away. Batrider with no lasso here. Gem ready, just trying to chase down the Invoker with the help of the DP. He's going to turn. Alacrity and Cold Snap, that's a spooky 26 level Invoker now, and he's potentially going to just slip away from danger. E-Blade? Flax! What is that? There's a Tusk with an E-Blade coming out of bloody nowhere. So he turns with a Tornado, Deafening Blast, big combos from Black Soul. Holds them back, 1v3, and the Cataclysm landing. In we go onto Tusk. Aretes with Benjaz towards Arzen, who's forced to Exorcism, and Batrider at half HP. He can't rejoin the fight, so Burner walks straight in. The lasso dragging him towards the Gyrocopter with a big damage. Miggy with a double kill, and Luna's dead for 100 seconds. So's the Invoker.
No way.
They've got him.
Gary, what's going on? Invoker was making all the big plays, but they just had to back off. The Gyrocopter was on the way.
They lose. They lose megas, and it looked like they were being 1v3'd. And the Gyros walks in with a rapier and kills everybody.
Courier has been killed.
They got buybacks though. They got buybacks. His team still needs to deal with the creep waves, top and bottom. They only have Boots of Travels on the Batrider at the moment. Okay, DP also has Boots of Travels, but no exorcism being up.
Gyros alone
Potential
middle.
for the, yeah, there's still potential for the Divine Rapier to be lost here. All right.
BKB's on cooldown for 20 seconds. DP has no exorcism, but they are ripping through the buildings, even with backdoor regen there. And Quesadilla, he's moving forward to
They
tier
just buy
4.
back and go on this Jaro.
I'm
Like, if
surprised they're not.
Yeah, if they knew the BKB's on cooldown, that's perfect. Invoker can just go in, you know, stun up the Gyrocopter. He's got a Hex, he's got a Cold Snap. The ET's still in the base, trying to deal with creeps. They're just waiting. They don't want to use the buybacks and throw the game. They're just going to hold off. 15 seconds.
There's a leap. A Yules. No arrow, though.
Just trying to hold them in place, waiting for the Invoker and the Luna to be alive.
That's a lane for the Dire team. They've not lost a tier 4 either.
You know what, Gary? For a team that's been making a lot of aggressive and brave moves, they chose a really interesting time to just stand down.
Yeah, for a team that's been really just jumping down the throats of their opponents for so long. Seeing all of the gold highlighted heroes with buybacks, very, very surprising. Not a single one of them popped out. Whew. Right, Tusk E-Blade also, that surprised me in that last fight.
Yeah, it's a solid save. I like it. There's a lot of interesting things you can do against the E-Blade.
There's no Aghanim Scepter. Definitely a cool little pickup for him.
Ooh. Check out what Gyrocopter's going for. Swift Blink. He just wants to be able to get right on top of the Luna or the Invoker or whoever the Batrider lassos up.
Yeah, those 6 flat cannon hits are going to be immediately dispersed out with all that rapier damage onto them all.
Yeah, he's also got the global call down on the Gyrocopter to help with defending these creep waves that are coming in. You can use that on the lane that the Nature's Prophet is sending Treants to. Instantly kill those Treants. That's a lot of gold that he's going to be able to farm with that.
And he's also got that Illusionist cape. Nice little gyro illusion. Helping out pushing these waves too. And Incubus kind of stuck on their side of the map at this point, a little bit tentative and afraid, even though they've got mega creeps trending towards this dire side of the map. What's the plan for them? Do they still just want to slowly keep pushing until they get the state of the map where 3 lanes are on the dire side? Think about the next Roshan? What is it?
They gotta wait for Roshan. That's it. This legit has been Incubus's plan the entire game, and I feel like because that has been their plan, they have not been able to, do anything else. They're kind of just restricting themselves into waiting for the Roshan. But even while waiting for Roshan, they gotta still be doing the correct moves, being on the right parts of the map instead of being so split up all the time. And that's how I feel like Inverse has been able to crawl back into this game.
So now it feels like it's time for Luna to buy a rapier. Does have the Aghanim Shard.
The problem with the Luna Rapier is she doesn't have a way to deal with this butterfly of the Gyrocopter. She has nothing to pierce through the evasion. Like, the Gyro's got the MKB. Luna doesn't.
We need to bring back the old Rod of Atos cripple. Get the accuracy on Rod of Atos. Another item to give True Strike, please.
Yeah, she's got the MKB now, though, on the Luna. I think they just... Like I said earlier, even if you take all the Raxes, because you've constantly been trading your lives for those Raxes, the game's not over until you kill the throne. And it's got to a point in the game where Inverse can just deal with these mega creeps very easily. Almost every single hero on their side has a way to clear creeps.
Oh, Miggy forced to BKB. And so close to Roshan respawning too. Sunstrike to scout. Top lane pushed in. We've also got Invoker with the Refresher Orb now. So multiple Cataclysms and Hexes. And the Radiant also the ones to scout out inside the pit with Forge Spirit. So they'll know when the big man comes up.
Incubus is going to be able to... Like, I actually think Incubus is in a worse situation than Inverse is. Inverse, they have the tools to be able to win this game. They just got to win a fight, run down mid, end the game, right? Incubus, they don't even have the damage to be able to kill Inverse's heroes in a 5v5 situation. So what they need is Nature's Prophet to transition from a utility role into a carry role. And he can do that once he gets level 25, because he can just TP all around the map, clean up all the creeps that are on the map. And once he's got all this damage items, then he's going to be the one who's going to be able to kill Inverse heroes or split push enough where Inverse can like literally never leave the base.
Well, Roshan is down to, well, no HP
Another
anymore.
shard. And
Batrider. He wants in. BKB.
going in.
With the flame break and the lasso, he finds the Luna. Burner. He's been focused down. They're dragging him back up to the high ground. Snowball into the pit. The Gyro's going to try and get the Aegis and kill the Roshan. They've got it. The Dire squad come in and they've killed off the Luna 2. The Satanic does nothing. Buybacks available with the Radiant. They need to battle inside this pit. Aegis popped as the Deafening Blast and that Meteor clear through that Tusk. Where's Ogre on the run? Junya also dropping. Snowball stopping the TP home. The Prophet, he's fallen. They've got no buyback on the Mirana. Flax on a killing spree. 2 minutes without Benjaz. Down in the bottom lane. They've tried to shove into tier 4s with that Invoker, but it wasn't enough. And
the
now,
one thing Incubus was waiting for, the Roshan, and is taken away from them. All Blackstone can do at this point is constantly shove these lanes in, threaten the throne, the tier 4. He's got to keep playing bottom, because the Inverse is just going to walk right down mid lane.
play bot, play top. But yeah, before that fight kicked off, I was about to start asking how important are these buybacks for the Radiant team, because we're looking at Luna without one, Prophet without one now. Getting into a real difficult spot. Gyro with DP. Straight down the mid lane. Refresher Shard in the hands of Arzen. So the potential to refresh the Exorcism if they want to go straight for it. And there it is. Pop the Shard. Get the Ghost Ladies out there. And head towards the tier 4s with a double damage rune. Gyrocopter with a rapier. Lasso jump onto Burner on a big target. The huge kill. And the game will end just like that. The tier 4s are going to get shredded by this Gyrocopter. Double rapier, massive damage, 949 per right click, and the tier 4s crumble. Ceasing to exist, the Radiant base collapses, and that's it. Game over, 1-1, tied up by Inverse.
Incredible. I'm so baffled, Gary. I mean, Inverse. You got to give it to them. These guys, they crawled, like literally crawled back into this game. They made